John Horodyski, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Ed. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Perfect. Thanks for taking some time out to have a discussion, something that we're both passionate about. But I noticed something that changed. All the triggers went off and notifications out on the internet that you got a new jam going on. What is up with Salt Flats? Tell me about that new venture.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. And I appreciate that question. Salt Flats is an innovation platform with a diverse, creative group of disruptors who like to challenge the status quo and create tomorrow's future today. We bring a diverse team of innovators who are focused on excellence in a collaborative environment and deliver results at a great speed. We work with leadership teams to solve and create innovative business solutions, and our proven framework for innovative excellence will allow our clients to explore all those good uncharted territories and make game-changing discoveries along the way. It's something we like to refer to it as the arc of innovation. So my insights and analytics team, we make data work for you. We know that the winners in the digital era will be those who can harvest competitive insights and knowledge from access to strategic data and collective intelligence techniques. Our Vanguard data, content, and information management processes are foundational in order to further apply technology like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and analysis techniques. Our data-driven and user-centric approach to information organization leverages data to create consumer experiences that maximize content ROI. It is a great time to be in data and to be in DAM.
So cool. Love that. Yeah. And I think what we'll talk about today is that marriage of data and content, and really talking about how we can unleash the power of content and why data is so important to that. So let me start with some trends and that I'm seeing happen, and definitely want to get your take on this. But I framed it all up around what I'm calling the 4 V's of content, and kind of throw back to like 5 to 10 years ago when we were talking about big data. It's now like big content, and the 4 V's: volume, variety, velocity, and veracity. So volume in terms of petabytes, terabytes of content that's needed now to deliver these experiences. The variety too, all different, emerging types of content, even content that's not even file-based, like disclaimers, et cetera, but like 4K, 3D, all that stuff needs managed. And we're really trying to connect out on different channels now. And then the velocity, right? The speed at which we need to move that content from within our organizations out into the experience world, bring it back in, and how we can't allow our human we'll call it lack of bandwidth to hold that up. We really need to lean in on powerful artificial intelligence to automatically create renditions and versions that are channel specific, and automatic image cropping and all that good stuff. And then this last one's my favorite, is the veracity. So the truth in content. That content has to be trustworthy. It has to have great authority. It has to be there when you need it in your moment of need. So the 4 V's, John, are you seeing those trends play out in your world?
Absolutely. And one of the things I'm seeing a lot is the idea of personalization. It's something that we see a lot in terms of marketing personalization. And it used to be very much a buzzword type term, but it's actually quite real now for a lot of organizations. So if you're trying to reach out to your audience with generic, impersonal content, you're kind of missing out on a huge opportunity to engage them and encourage them to stay with you in the long run. So talking to them directly and truly understanding them is your best way to win them over. But this is all about marketing personalization, which means interacting with your audience and customers in a way that feels both personal and human, taking into considerations their likes, their preferences, and interests. Personalization is becoming not just a competitive advantage, but something that your customers truly expect through every interaction with you and your brand. It's interesting to note that a recent Deloitte study found that 36% of customers are interested in buying personalized products, and 48% said they would be willing to wait to get it. So how do you do this? Well, that's where automation and data analytics really come in. Your customer data is the most valuable thing that you can leverage in order to build the best personalized campaigns. For example, in order to build custom newsletters that recommend relevant content for your customers, you can automatically gather data from the previous reading history, recommended blog posts and articles on similar related topics. Likewise, knowing your customer's job title, area of expertise, topics of interest, their previous purchase patterns, and even their geographic location can work in your favor to help you segment those marketing campaigns. It goes without saying that data, and actually good quality data, is the only way to play in today's economy.
Yeah, in that idea of playing, you talked about personalization, but we have to get beyond personalization, right? It's no longer just based on segments and small pieces of that data, but that data, that purchase history, preference data, demographic, firmographic, all the data, right, that we've got now needs to, if you have all the data, it doesn't mean anything if that experience isn't there at the moment of need. So experience-driven organizations. John, tell me about some of the organizations who've embraced this concept around being experience-driven. What are their aspirations that you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Ed. And yes, the aspirations are always high, and so they should be in this disruptive economy that we work in. You not only need goals to get you where you want to be, but an effective roadmap and strategy to help you get there. And in terms of data, it's often a dilemma of either having too much data or even too little data to get you where you want to be. So our greatest guidance to clients is always to approach those aspirations with knowing, where are you now and what do you have with you? But then more importantly, where do you want to go? I'm a big believer in the whole crawl, walk, run approach, and it totally works. But let's be clear, disruption is everywhere. Just take a look at the economy as we continue to move forward in this pandemic time that we live in. I think many people in marketing and in DEM have taken this to heart and have started really thinking more about what good change they can bring to their product offerings and in their product roadmaps. I've seen much more new interest in optimizing the service offerings for more things like AI work, as well as better connections and integrations with things like the martech area. But more importantly, and it's the ability to use that, what we like to refer to as that arc of innovation, to solve and create innovative business solutions to allow you to explore that uncharted territory and really make game-changing discoveries along the way to fit those aspirations.
Awesome. So let's talk about changing the game and really that idea around analytics that plays such a big part in this. And those who are climbing a maturity ladder, right? It's so hard just to get to the top, that aspirational state, but the concept of, I'll call it the start, which is the descriptive analytic, which what happened, right? It's more of like a look in the past. Predictive analytics, what's going to happen. And then my favorite, which is the prescriptive, what should I do, right? Insights into action. How are you seeing some organizations sort of some tangible examples maybe of moving up that curve?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we all want to mature in our business process and in our interactions with our customers. Maturity is always a very good thing to ascribe to. At Salt Flats, we believe that data maturity is a journey, and we're here for our clients at every step of that way. Regardless of your data goals, nothing can be achieved without that strong data foundation. And our team of library scientists, they develop and establish a taxonomy that allows the data to work for you. But when that data is ready, our data scientists then really get to work, translating that data into visualizations, forecasting algorithms, and predictions to inform you of your business decision tomorrow. So at the foundation is really a data alignment where you can focus on things like data governance and processing to enable your technology. This starts with the foundational elements of metadata and taxonomy to support all that follows, such as data processing and even change management. You need to know what you have, how much of it there is, how to describe it, and what is it actually trying to do. Then you can organize your data and your content in your most valuable and robust dam to become the core of your martech efforts going forward. So then you move up into descriptive analytics, where you're able to leverage your data to better understand the business. You want to identify what has happened with your brand and products and services and your customers, and then make it real for them with data visualization, such as effective corporate dashboarding. So descriptive analytics makes it all that more and more meaningful. Next up the ladder, as you said, it's the predictive analytics, which is enabling things like machine learning and artificial intelligence to anticipate your business for tomorrow. This includes such functionality as image recognition to natural language processing to improvements to even supply chain management and data management in general. And lastly, there is prescriptive analytics, which builds upon all of your data efforts to have strategic program management and, more importantly, truly data-driven decision-making opportunities. The goal of this data maturity is to move up the ladder and mature your data along the way, essentially optimizing your information from hindsight to insight and eventually to foresight.
Love that. Now, you hit on this, but let's talk about not skipping the data piece, right? It's foundational. It's what we stand upon. If it's good, if it's hygienic, if it's enriched, if it's complete, it's a complete game changer. So talk to me about, where do we start in building that foundation, the metadata management aspect of it, the taxonomy, standardization, really being the focus.
Yeah, exactly. This is all about your strengthening of the today to create that tomorrow. And there are many good reasons in our society of why not to skip things. You know, your doctor might tell you never to skip a meal, or don't skip the gym, which you shouldn't. But it's all based in sound methodology of following a data routine built from that good data foundation. And a great example of this in our markets today is the interest in businesses doing AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning programs. But the ideas of AI and machine learning, they're not really science fiction anymore. In fact, they're not even fiction, they're real. And this is both exciting and concerning, as it forces us to realize that it's actually the data that's the foundation upon which these types of computer intelligence programs can be built. We want the machines to learn and do more, but we must provide them with good quality data in order for them to do it. So the robots should not be working in splendid isolation, but instead with great human interaction the entire way through the process. We need to get our metadata house in order to support the AI technology. So you can't skip this data step. You need this in order to achieve your goals. And remember, with good quality metadata and effective insights and analytics, you're able to understand what happened, why did it happen, what will happen, and how can we make it happen. Quality data equals smart data equals great results. You don't skip the data.
Awesome. So we've got we didn't skip the data. We've got a strong foundation. Now let's layer in some technology. Let's layer in digital asset management. Let's layer in some other martech enabled strategies. How does DAM really play a critical part in getting back to what we were talking about earlier, being an experience-driven marketing organization, delivering on those, I'll call them beyond personalization initiatives?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, without metadata, you really have nothing. So start there first and then build that foundation. And then you can have your DAM serve as the backbone that you can then build the rest of your martech stack upon, whether it's marketing or creative operations, wherever it may be. And the software you choose as your DAM will become the foundation of the stack. It is where all your creative content and data will live. And choosing a strong DAM system gives you a great base to build upon. However, it's important to remember that a good DAM is nothing without the data that moves through it. Metadata, taxonomy, and governance are the muscles that allows your DAM to function. They're as vital as the DAM itself. So implementing strong metadata and workflow standards in a DAM makes all the difference when implementing a martech stack. Your DAM is that single repository for all the creative assets created by marketing, creative services. Being able to track it, find it, and distribute those assets is an efficient manner that makes all the difference in day-to-day creative operations and allows for the experience-driven marketing opportunities for your brand. So simply put, the DAM connects all the other tools in the martech stack. A good experience-driven marketing initiative begins with your data flowing through the DAM.
That's great. Now, let's get a little bit of, put some secret sauce out there. John, what would you claim, as we close this, is your power play? You know, you're definitely a power player in the industry. You're an advisor. And how would you then bring that power play into advising this audience on why, you know, the data foundation is so important?
Love it. And that's an excellent question, Ed. If data is the language upon which our modern society is going to be built, then metadata will be its grammar, the construction of its meaning, the building for its content, and the ability to understand where data can be for us all. In an ever-changing business environment, metadata must be adaptable and must evolve over time to stay relevant to all the digital assets that you're trying to support. If maintained and governed well, then metadata can be a very real contribution to your business goals. So to answer your question, Ed, data is your power play. The future of a prosperous society and business will be dependent on those who are able to innovate. So start now and learn, build, innovate, and prosper, or you will wither away in this new economy. Time is short. The choice is yours. Data is your power play.
Awesome, John. You're such a strong power player. Thank you for helping this audience learn what it takes to unleash the power of their content.
Thank you very much, Ed. Thank you.
Cheers.